everybody, this is Godzilla 2010 again, coming out with another Godzilla toy review. Today we're going to be reviewing the NECA GMK Godzilla, or Godzilla 2001. Alright, so let's get started with the detail as per usual. The detail, because this is a NECA figure, is absolutely outstanding. This is really, really good. The sculpt is just amazing for this figure. There's detail in the claws there. There's the face, which is really well sculpted, and then the top area as well is really nicely done. The sculpt in general is just beautiful, and the spikes have these ridges sort of in them, and it just looks really nice. NECA does a fantastic job as always with their figures, as per usual. Paint job, at first glance, this looks like a regular charcoal black. In the camera, it kind of shows up as this, as the actual color. It's almost kind of greenish, which is a bit weird, especially since we all know Godzilla isn't actually green in any of the films, especially not in GMK. In GMK, he was more of a light to dark gray, I'd say. And the camera isn't necessarily picking the up. In this lighting, he looks more that color. If you look in the jaw, there's a little bit of a sloppier application of the pink gums underneath his jaw here, the lower jaw. But other than that, it all seems to work out pretty well for the figure. The gradient on the spines is done really well. And then the toes have their, I think this is more accurate, this yellowish hue to them. So that's pretty neat. And articulation, NECA does a really good job with their Godzilla figures. You can move the head up and down and blah blah blah, and you can open the jaw in and out. The neck is on a joint as well. I think this one can only turn. I don't think it can go in and out as much. Maybe a little bit, but not much. The waist here is on a joint, but mine is kind of loose, so it likes to fall over a lot. I think that might be a problem with other ones. The hands and the arms have a full range of motion as well. The hands here can close at this joint here, and then the feet and the legs can move as well, and then the tail is segmented up until this point where it's a bendy wire, which I have no intention of playing with. Okay, next we'll move on to scale. First, let's compare him real quick to the Bandai Creation 2001 Godzilla. I don't really have another similar figure, GMK figure at this scale to compare him with. So, as you can see, there is a very large difference in many aspects to these two, mostly because this is a Bandai Creation vinyl made for children, and this is a higher grade NECA collector's item. But this was one of my first Godzilla figures, not the first, but it was probably my third or fourth Godzilla figure. This one has a special place for me, but it's highly inaccurate for a lot of different reasons, and I've already gone over that a couple times. This one is obviously much more accurate. I'm sure the SH Monstarts version is even more accurate, but there's some debate between the NECA and the SH Monstarts. But this one's larger, it's got more articulation, it's got a better detail, etc., etc. But this is good for kids, and it's good for just like a desk guardian, or whatever you want to say. This is a really nice piece right here, though, this one. Next, I'll compare him to my Rainbow Mothra, the Bandai Creation Rainbow Mothra, since I don't have any GMK Imago Mothra. I don't think Mothra was particularly big in this movie, so I think this might be a bit too big. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know for sure. Next, we're going to look at the GMK Bandai Creation King Ghidorah. This is probably my only Ghidorah figure, aside from my Mecha King Ghidorah, the Bandai one. But, you know, I figured that with this GMK Godzilla being so large and everything, that King Ghidorah might actually be at scale, but honestly, I can't tell. I feel like if this Godzilla could stand upright a little bit more, because it's kind of crouched over a bit, if he could stand upright a bit more, I think it would be more accurate. But King Ghidorah is still larger, and GMK is one of the few cases where King Ghidorah is actually smaller than Godzilla. So this still isn't quite accurate, but it could still definitely work. And just for real quick sake, to compare two NECA Godzillas, here's the NECA 1954 Godzilla. These are two of their best figures, if you ask me. GMK is my personal favorite because he's my personal favorite Godzilla design from my personal favorite Godzilla movie. But the 54 Godzilla is still absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so they're about the same size. I thought the GMK Godzilla was a bit bigger, but he's, again, crouched over a bit, so not quite as tall as he could be, but he's still... This one is still much bulkier than this one, which is hard to believe. But, yeah, they definitely both look really good. Next, real quick, just for fun, let's take out the Bandai 2003 Tokyo SOS Kiryu. From Tokyo SOS, of course. This is an interesting scale. I don't... the GMK Godzilla and the Godzilla against Mechagodzilla or Tokyo SOS Godzilla design, I think those are about in the same scale. They're about like 60 to 55 meters. Not very big, but big enough, you know, to cause some damage. And so, I feel like Kiryu seems a bit small here, or Mechagodzilla, but this could still work for other reasons. So, pretty interesting. And next, real quick, while we're at it, let's take a look at his tag. He comes in blister packaging, so I don't really keep the blister packaging itself. Here I saved some pieces from that. Here's the, it would go like this, and then he'd be up there, like up in this area, in the blister packaging and stuff. Godzilla 2001, and then you got more information, yada yada yada, just blank on this side. And then you've got the card, or the tag thing. This is the same as per usual. It's got the freaking first Godzilla Bandai creation promotional image on it for some bizarre reason. I will never understand that, but in the back you got a really nice shot of Godzilla 2001. They've done this with all their regular Godzillas. The Godzilla 2014 had a different card, but that was their first one. And the NES one had a different card as well, but that one was different, of course. In terms of rarity, this figure, it just came out, but for some reason I had a hard time finding it. It came out, I think, this past the fall of 2016, I believe, if not the summer, maybe. I can't exactly remember, but I had a hard time finding this one. I had to wait a while because I was looking on Amazon, and it was just not showing up very much, and yeah, I had to wait, and then I finally found one for the decent price of about $26, because everything else was going for $35 or more, and I didn't really want to spend that much money on it. In that case, I could have gotten the SH Monster Arts version, but the SH Monster Arts version for like, you know, $80 or whatever, but that's a different story. Yeah, so I would say if you really want this figure, you're going to have to, which I would recommend this figure. I definitely recommend this figure, by all means, but look very hard. Look hard on Amazon, look hard on eBay, don't take the first price you see. Try to get it to like less than $30 at the very least. That's what I did. I waited a while for it, and I did get it for less than $30, and it's definitely worth it. Other than that, I think that's all I have to say about this figure. It's really good. I think it's NECA's best so far, and I think they're going to keep improving. They've got a Shin Godzilla figure coming out this year, which will be really cool, and I'll probably be looking to get that one when it comes out. I just think it's really cool because I love the GMK Godzilla, I love the movie. The 1954 one is just as good, but I like this one better for personal reasons. It's one of my favorites. GMK, back in the day when I was going out of, like, I was kind of losing interest in Godzilla when I was a little kid, so I decided to watch GMK online on a whim. It totally blew me away, and it revitalized my interest for Godzilla. So I have this movie to thank for reinvigorating my interest in Godzilla when I was a kid, and I probably would not be into Godzilla as much today without GMK. So the figure itself is a great representation of the suit in the movie. It's really cool design. The sculpt is great. The articulation is on point. Everything else is great about the figure. And I would give it a 5 out of 5. Whatever I do, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5. Beautiful figure. And I would highly recommend it to anybody. Alright, this is Godzilla 2010 signing off. Bye.